Hello everyone! It's time for another travel gear updates video, and today I want to share a few more long-term experiences with my gear. I have been on the road for the last few weeks, months, so I did not really buy much travel gear over the last few weeks, so that was in one way good for my wallet. But today I want to show you 4 items that broke, 2 items that I really enjoyed using over the last few months, and also one popular travel gadget that just doesn't work for me, but I think I figured out why and I wanted to hear your opinion. So now let's talk about the 4 things that broke on me, and the first one is my C2 Summit dry bag. I have been using this dry bag for the last few years while traveling to do my laundry on the road. So I usually stuff my laundry in there, the detergent, the water, then I close it and then I really squeeze it and often just put it in the shower with me and kicked it with my leg to get my laundry done. So this bag was not really treated very nicely. And now after a few years of being abused by me, it finally starts to leak some water. So I did not see any physical holes or something, so I really think it's material fatigue. And here on the inside, I don't know if you can see that the material really starts to like fall apart a little bit. But I think I have no reason to complain that it broke because it really served me well for so many years. So now it's time for me to shop for a replacement, and I think I will just go buy the same one again. I really like this one from C2 Summit out of their Ultra Seal material because it's so thin and lightweight, and I think the whole thing only has, if I remember, 23 grams or something, so it's extremely lightweight. And I think that for me this is the better option than a more durable, a thicker dry bag that then weighs a lot more, or also things like the Scuba, who is like this portable washing machine, but in my opinion it's very heavy, very expensive, and the valve on it, if I would be able to use it to remove the water while washing, it would be a total argument for it, but since it's just to remove air, I think it's not really helpful for washing for me, so I will buy the same one again. The next thing that broke are 2 power banks, and this one I bought 2 years ago is a MagSafe one from Anker, and this one I got a few months ago from Nightcore to test, and both of them deformed, and I'm not really sure what happened. So my husband was traveling with this one, and I was traveling with this one. My best guess is that probably we both left them in the car one day and it got too hot. But as I said, I'm really not sure what happened, and let me know if you have an idea. But I will bring them both to the recycling center here in Austria to make sure that they're properly disposed of, because as far as I understand, once they start to deform, there's the risk of them starting to burn. So I really want to make sure that they are in the right place. And I'm a little bit sad, especially about this one, because I really enjoyed this small form. It was very nice to just put it into my EDC every day and just bring it with me. Now all I have left, the only power bank for once that I have left, is this one from Anker, which I like very much. This one is great for like long travel days, but to throw it into a bag, it's not as nice as this one was. But at the moment, my big goal is to not buy any more power banks. Let's see how that goes. The next thing I destroyed is my MagSafe pop socket. And I bought this pop socket with a MagSafe so I can use it on several devices, mainly on my iPhone and on my Kindle. There is this magnetic ring as a sticker that comes with it, and I put it at the back of my Kindle, and I found this a very nice handle to read. And since I use the same thing on my phone and on my Kindle, and I only brought one, I thought this was a very nice, not so bulky solution. And that worked very nicely until the day where the handle popped off the socket. I found a few instructions online on how to fix it. It basically says that with some pliers or something, I should widen this little hole here in the middle and then just slide it over this little disc here. But I have the feeling that after widening this small hole here, it will pop off even easier from the socket than it did now. And to be honest, I'm extremely disappointed in this product. I just bought it a few months ago, I think not even half a year ago. And I think if they make a product like this with MagSafe, you should be able to pop it on and off your devices regularly. And also this thing was extremely expensive for what it is. I think I paid like 36 euros for it, which is like $40. So it's a ridiculous amount of money for something that does not even last a few months, to be honest. So I will try to see if there's any kind of warranty on this thing and I will report back. And the last thing that I broke is my hairbrush. This is just a cheap one that I picked up here at the drugstore in Austria at Müller, and the handle broke off. But I honestly think it's not a bad thing because I just started using it without the handle. So I just hold it like this when I brush my hair, and that works actually very well, surprisingly well. And now without this bulky handle, this thing is extremely small and very lightweight. And now it's much more easy to fit this into my small toiletry kit. So now let's move on to two things that I loved using over the last few months. And the first one is this airless tube. In here is a sunscreen from Haru Haru Wonder, which is a Korean sunscreen for my face that I enjoyed using very much. But I think the star of this show was the packaging that they had. The packaging is like a tube with an airless dispenser here in the front. And what I really liked about it is that it really squeezed every last drop of sunscreen out of this little tube. And also it just got smaller and smaller the more I used it. So usually these metal tubes always break on me here on the sides when I squeeze the things forward. And in plastic tubes, there's usually lots of product here at the end. But with this airless tube, I don't know how to properly call this piece of packaging, it was really, really nice. And I kind of wish that I could open this. I did not try it yet because I wanted to show you first how it looks now. Or also it would be very nice to be able to buy this as a refillable thing. And also it would be very nice if more companies would package their creams in a thing like this. Because for me, every packaging that gets smaller when I use it is a big win. I don't like too much these hard plastic cream tubes or these big bulky silicone things that always stay bulky. Even when they're half empty or almost empty, they need all this space. So this was a very nice surprise for me, and I wish I could get this more often. The next piece of gear that I really enjoyed using is this retractable cable from Baseos. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but basically you can just retract it and and just put it back inside. And even though it's a little bit more bulky than a standard cable, I found this extremely useful for not just for travel because it's so nice and clean. I especially like it when it's in the wall in my charger, and when I want to use it, I just pull it out, and when I'm done, I just give it a quick pull and it retracts, and then it just hangs like this in the wall, and there's no cable salad, no nothing. So I have the mini version. It's a 60 watts cable. It also comes in larger and stronger cable, but since I only have to charge my phone and my iPad, I don't have a computer anymore. For me, this is perfect. And I also saw that now they make a charger who has this retractable cable integrated. But just like with the power banks, I'm not gonna buy another charger. I'm not gonna buy another charger. I'm not gonna buy another charger. And now let's talk about the piece of gear that just does not work for me for some reason, and that's the hero clips. As you know from my overrated travel gear videos, I'm really not the biggest fan. I was so excited when I first discovered them, but in the end I just failed to find good uses for them. And especially in my opinion, it cannot do anything that this little, much cheaper, much more lightweight S-hook cannot do for me. But I had a realization recently, because so many of you left the comment to that video that you find the hero clips extremely useful. And one comment that came up again and again was that you find them extremely useful to use when you have to go to the bathroom, to the restroom, and to hang your bags in the stall so that they're not on the floor. And that actually got me thinking, maybe it's kind of a geographical issue why I have no use for that. I don't want to offend anybody, but when I think of the US, the toilets there are terrible. You have like zero privacy. There's just this little cardboard boxes with huge gaps in all directions. But obviously, yes, there's a lot of space to hook in a hero clip. And from what I remember, also the toilets were often very dirty. So I totally agree. I would not want to put my bag anywhere. But in many other countries in this world, and especially here in Europe where I am from, we get a lot more privacy when we have to do our private businesses. We usually have a wall that goes from the ceiling all the way to the floor, and the doors in there are flush. So there is no way anywhere where you could hang a hero clip, and usually every bathroom has a hook in there. And that made me think that maybe that is part of the reason why I have no good use for this thing. Let me know what you think, if you think I'm onto something here. Let me also know what you use this for, any hacks. I mean, I still have both of them, and if I don't find a good use for them soon, I will definitely give them away because I have no space to store all these gadgets. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to my monthly newsletter. I will put the links of everything and also to the newsletter in the description. Also consider subscribing to my channel or leave a like. And other than that, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!